My name is Vadym Kholodenko. I'm concert pianist. I am playing piano since age 6. This gives me the most joy. Overall, it's about sharing music with people. People sometimes get scared of just the bare name of Bartok. I think this happens because of his early music and his the language he was using is definitely not easily accessible. Towards the end of his life, his musical language became more and more not just accessible, but he came to some pseudo classical vocabulary. This particular concerto, number 3, it's not just your everyday piano concerto because besides being just great music, it's not about just simplicity of feelings. It's how he was able to envelope all the ideas he had into very simple language. Piece of music opens up, which a pianist plays the beautiful melody in octave. That's why it immediately attracts the attention. Your ear, it catches that simplicity and it follows very easily towards the development, towards the second subject, and also the form of the first movement. It's very classical. It's what we can expect from basically any concerto written in time of Mozart or particularly in time of Beethoven. And at the same time, it has so many polyphonic details, which it's very difficult to explain what's going on there. But if you look at the second subject in the beginning and the second subject in the recap, it's like they're in the mirror. The second movement in the chorale, in the opening and in the recap, it has some very, let's say, deep feeling, very, in a sense, dark feeling because he already felt that his life goes to the end. It's very sad to say so, but I think this line in composer's life, this idea in composer life, sometimes it takes over. Like we have an example of Mozart, his Requiem. That choral is such touching music, and when I play it each time, I feel it such just irrational. It's so beautiful. It's actually what we care so much about music. And in the opening of the second movement, it's a human being in front of us. It's composer himself basically saying something very personal, something dear for him about his his former life. I consider the third movement to be a typical composer answers to any grief or any difficulties he or she may experience, and maybe it's a paradox, but of course this sense of dance, and it's such a great folk music. So I hear there's so much folk native melodies of Hungary, and this is actually some very typical part of even of chamber music in this concerto piece. It's the whole orchestra who brings such great color and atmosphere. It's more concerto for the orchestra, and pianist for some reason plays in front of the orchestra. Of course, the solo part is very important, but it's about this group of people. And Bartok, he loved writing for orchestra. I think the range of colors, the range of possibilities this orchestra gave to him, it really inspired him to find some new way of expressing himself in music. So I really would appreciate if people not just listen to the piano part, but they enjoy how the piano part is inside the chorus of orchestra sound.